depending on the type of function that we have different types of ways to differentiate those functions. And there are 4 basic types that you need to know. The first types of functions that you'll need to derive are functions that look like this. And its derivative is going to be this. So for example, if y equals 3x to the 5, then to derive that, we need to do 5 times 3, or 3 times 5, x to the power of 5 minus 1, which is going to be 15x to the 4. This is also called the power rule, because we use this rule when x has a power. The second type of function we need to know is when it's y equals e to the x. And its derivative is just e to the x. So it's the original function. And then if, for example, you had y equals 2e to the x, then y dash will also be 2e to the x. So if you've got a constant in front of e to the x, then that also comes through on the derivative. The third type of function that we need to know is y equals ln of x. And that derives to 1 over x. So again, if we had a constant in front where it was a ln x, its derivative would just be a times 1 over x, which is a over x. So for example, if y was 3 ln x, the derivative would be 3 over x. Another type of derivative that we need to know are trig derivatives. For example, if y equaled sine of x, or if y equaled cos x, or if y equaled negative sine x, or if y equaled negative cos x. Now, the way to find the derivatives of these is this simple diagram. So you can write sine, cos, negative cos. So we derive going downwards. So sine x, derivative of that would be cos x. So for this, we can say y dash is cos of x. For cos x, it derives to sine x. So here we can say derivative of y equals cos x is going to be negative sine x. For negative sine x, that derives to negative cos x. And for negative cos x, this derives to sine x. So these are the simple derivative rules that you will need to know. There's also a last one. For example, if y is a constant, then its derivative is just 0. So if y equals, say, 4, y dash would be 0. And for all of these, if you have a constant in front of them, then the derivative will also have the constant in front of it. So what does this mean? So if f of x was ln x, then you can have a question where it's 3 times ln x. And then the derivative would be 3 times the derivative of ln x, which is 1 on x. So it'd be 3 times 1 on x, which would be 3 on x. So for example, if y was 4 times sine of x, so the derivative of that would be 4 times derivative of sine x. And we know that sine x derives to cos x, so it would be 4 times cos x. Now, it's really important to learn these 5 rules well, because they are used in further differentiation methods such as chain rule, power rule, and quotient rule.